In the final weeks of the 85th legislature, bills are heating up or not heating up, as it turns out. Joined by State Representative Jim Murphy, Republican out of Houston, who had a bill that passed the House regarding baked goods. What is this all about?
Well, that's a pretty funny pun you just made, because it is about how hot your hot product is. So some bakers from my district brought me this concern about what's taxable, what's not, and it was how hot the item is determined whether or not it was taxable. Well, you know, Lana, most baked items come out of the oven kind of hot. And so if it's hot or served with a utensil, is what the code says, it's taxable. But if they give it to you in a sack and it's cold, it's not. And so, you know, we had clerks trying to figure out, well, how hot is hot? And you have owners that don't want to violate state law, right, and have the comptroller, you know, mad at them or prosecuting them. And so they came to me and said, can we simplify this? And so now we're simply saying, if it's bought at a bakery, it's tax exempt. And it's that simple.
Bread, rolls, buns, biscuit, bagels, croissants, pastries, donuts, Danish cakes, torts, pies, tarts, muffins, bars, cookies, and tortillas.
This is a bill about freedom.
Freedom for baked goods.
Thank you.
What sort of feedback? You had a little fun on the floor, but you know, as far as lawmakers both in the House, and then will anybody rise up in the Senate to carry this bill?
Yeah, we've got it worked out in the Senate to be picked up, but it's one of those things where a lot of my colleagues, when I told them what the law was, they say to me, no, really, Jim, that can't be the law. I said, well, yeah, it actually is. And sometimes we don't think through the application, because what they're trying to distinguish, obviously, is a restaurant from a bakery, and that makes sense. But if a mom is in there buying a cake and decides to have a hot cookie for her child, well, that cookie probably would be tax exempt, and it's going to cost you another 3 cents or something. So it's almost not worth the trouble of collecting. So we ended up with a zero fiscal note, which is great. But my colleagues were just sort of surprised it was even an issue, and so they were happy to correct it. And I did make it multicultural, because I noted that it included kolaches, tortillas, pan dulce. I mean, I read the list from the code, which was pretty funny. It just makes their life a lot easier, because a lot of them were taxing things that shouldn't have been taxed, so people paying too much tax. And so this will make things a lot easier. When they say, do you want your kolache heated up? Bingo, that should be taxable. And some shops do it and some shops don't, and so this is going to make it much easier for the bakers.
Representative Murphy, thank you so much. We will be following the bill. At the Capitol, this is Alana Rocha reporting for the Texas Tribune.